Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome to the road trip. Manchester United taking on Spurs this afternoon on Super Sunday, man. Injury crisis hits. Let's not dress this up. I don't even want to swear this early in the video. Ahmad out for the rest of the season. Ankle ligament injury. Reports are he's going to have an operation. Toby Collier injured. Kobbie Mainoo injured. Ugarte, I don't know if he's one of the ill ones or injured, but out. It's a crisis. It's a crisis. Lisandro, obviously, out. It's a crisis, guys. It is what it is. It's a crisis. Let's call it out. The Ahmad one is really tough to take because, let's be honest, like Laurie Whitwell wrote, I think he's been responsible for 42% of our goals. Basically half, not far off half our goals. And we don't score enough goals as it is. So that puts into context the type of player that we're going to be missing. And the problem, and you know what? When you see these injuries, you kind of just take that big sigh. And then you go, well, our level's shit anyway. Like, we've been shit. We're 13th in the Premier League or 14th or whatever we are. 13th. And, that's with these players playing. Do you know what I mean? So to lose players, like Kobbie Mainoo and Ahmad, and we're looking for that experiment with Kobbie Mainoo in the 10 to start trying to play. It's just typical. It's just typical. And you know what? Unleash the youths. Unleash the youths for vibes. The Premier League season, to be fair, we all said was a write-off anyway. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. But in terms of the cup games, that's where the bread and butter of these players missing is. Kobbie, I think, as there's reports of 2 to 3 weeks. Collier, again, not too sure how bad that one is. Hasn't really been playing in recent weeks as it is. It's just a bad one. But Ahmad obviously is the biggest one. Listen, Kobbie's important as well, but the sheer amount that Ahmad does for the team, not just when he scores and assists, it's actually what he does off the ball. We have a player in our team. He's been our best player this year. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. So it's just why? But then again, we're not the only ones. In terms of today, not really any excuses really against Spurs. They got bare injuries as well. Have had bare injuries all season. So it's not can't look for sympathy in this type of fixture. They've just got a few men coming back today, which makes them stronger. I think Vicario's back, Udogie's back, Maddison's back. At a time when we're just losing some of our main players who really needed to play today, especially Ahmad. Even in the travelling squad, it wasn't a confirmed one, but I didn't see Dorgu on there, but I'm sure he'll probably be out. We would have heard by now. But it just couldn't have come at a worse time. And like I said, my concern is, of course, today and this, that, and the other, and the Prem, but it's the cup games, guys. The Europa League and the FA Cup is all we got. The Premier League is just vibes anyway. So on that, of course, we've got senior pros who need to be doing something. They need to step up. But it's the cups. It's the cups. And today, let's be honest, how is this going to affect us? Have we got players in there that can step in? Do we have to be positive and say, right, there's no expectation pretty much anymore, especially now with this next batch of injuries on top of the Lisandro one last week. And it's look at it now. Chido's involved in the squad. Sekou Kone's involved in the squad. Harry Amas is involved in the squad. So, can some of these kids get a chance? Can some of these kids get a chance just for vibes? Do you know what I mean? If anything, at this stage, especially if we lose today, at this stage, it's it almost takes the pressure off, because every United fan and their dog can be listen, look, the league it's gone. It's gone long time, but you add these injuries into that. A misfire in Højlund, a Xerxes trying to find his confidence, the pressure now on Garnacho, because he's the only one we got. Do you know what I mean? I've seen people already look at Rashford at Villa off the bench yesterday. Look, it's Amarim's fault. I knew this shit would happen. I knew this would happen. And we can't do that revisionism. This video's not even about Marcus Rashford, but it just annoyed me. Where I'm come on. Are we really going to go down that route? Let's just not. I can't even bother to do that in this video. Let's just not. But I've seen it already, you know what I mean? And then you lose Ahmad just after Rashford goes. You know what you're going to get online and this, that and the other. So let's not even go there. And look, I'm not discounting anyone's opinions. Probably people in the comments there saying, let's see, yeah, but tell you what, Flex, wait a minute. It's true. It's true. He was cooking against Ipswich yesterday. Good for him. But he's not playing for us right now. So it is what it is. I don't care. Like I said, Rashford would do well at Villa anyway. But back to us. And in terms of today's game, what sort of team could we see? Do you know what I mean? What sort of team could we see? We were saying to KG on the Trinity, even with the injuries were mad, and the illnesses, they actually did turn out to be quite bad. But Rasmus and Xerxes are still there. I see one of them starting. I don't see Chido getting the nod. The 10 positions, very interesting now because you're looking at Casemiro and Eriksen. They've probably got to come in at some point because we're too light. We're too light. There's no Ahmad to play in a 10. So Garnacho, you're looking at, has to probably play from the start, and I thought he would have had to anyway, considering Spurs play a high line, transitions, etc. We need Garnacho from the start, if I'm honest. And who's going to partner him in the 10 position? Is it going to be Christian Eriksen? Is it going to be Bruno? There's no Ugarte as well, so does Bruno need to... We got no holding midfielder. Collier is not there as well. So it's going to have to be Casemiro. And God knows what shape Casemiro is going to be in. Do you know what I mean? There has been some sort of pushback to say he should be using Casemiro more. Do you know what I mean? In some games, because at least he could pass forward. People were cussing Ugarte the other week. Well, here's a chance. Here's a chance for Casemiro. Unless he play, which I can't... Because, look, that we saw what happened when you play Eriksen and flipping... Eriksen and... Casemiro. We can never play that pivot ever again in football. Ever. We saw what happened against Newcastle. We saw. And Amorim's not that stupid, like, in this moment. Like, he can't play those two as a pivot just to be able to free up Bruno to go one forward. Sekou Kone, kid. Do you know what I mean? Not going to... Let's be real. Unless Amorim does a madness, he's not going to start away at Spurs. So if you just look at the senior players that will probably be available in the midfield position as the two, it's Bruno, Casemiro, Eriksen. That's all we got. That's all we got in terms of senior players. So, and you can't play Casemiro and Eriksen. So it's got to be Bruno. And even Bruno and Eriksen might be lightweight. But didn't we do something similar against them last time? I can't remember. Because Eriksen played in that game and so did Bruno. Did Casemiro play? I don't think Casemiro did. I think Ahmad didn't play. Who played in the 10s in that game? I can't remember in the Carabao Cup game. But anyway, this one, it can't be Eriksen and Casemiro. So I'm going to go with... I think he'll go... Or does he start Xerxes as well? One of the 10s, to be fair. And put Rasmus up front. But again, if he does that, then you're basically saying that Chido's got to come on. Because also he's got to look at his subs, because the subs are going to be kids. The subs will be kids. And... You know, he might be reluctant to use some of them because they're not quite ready yet, but they're just there to fill the bench. But throw them in. Throw them in, man. If he starts Hoyland and Xerxes, so if he starts Hoyland up front and plays Xerxes and Ahmad as 10s, sorry, Xerxes and Garnacho as 10s, then you're looking at the game later on and saying, well, Bruno will probably go one forward and maybe you bring in Sekou Kone, or you take off Rasmus and you play Chido like in the 70th minute or whatever. Because there's not going to be much options, peeps. At the back, which side does Dorgu play on? We'll see. Surely got to go with Dorgu and Dallo again. Mazraoui, Yoro, and then one of De Ligt and Maguire. We'll see which one. But scary times, peeps. Scary times. But I'll be honest. I'm so resigned to the fact that it's just... there's no point. I'm not even like, oh my God, the season's... Like, we've been shit. Awful in the league. Awful. So... In terms of that, that's what it is. And in terms of today, it makes it even harder. So now we just got to flip it. We just got to flip it and try and put faith in some of these youngsters and hope they can get an appearance and try and change things just for vibes. And secondly, the players who ain't been playing, Casemiro, can you give us a little masterclass, mate? Can you give us a Casemiro masterclass away at Spurs? High intensity. Blood fire. Listen, smash a like on the video, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's looking peak. Injury crisis has kicked in. The day of Spurs and illness crisis, whatever you want to call it. Decimated squad. I'm going down to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Let's be real. It's just vibes. I don't know what we're going to see. This could be a bad day, a real bad day. And when it happens, you know what? I'm just going to detach already. Sorry to not be that positive, but there you go. Join KG, Minna, and Haley on the match view at UVHQ. And of course, Owen will be with you for a couple of hours before that. I'm out of here. I'll see you at the game. Peace.